It's good to see you on the Zoom side. Okay, so let me put this down. I don't have to quite do this upside down. So I'll just tell you what the color is. It's going to be out of focus till we get at least the first two colors, because it's trying to focus on this white background. The first one is going to be Pigment Red 101. Pigment Red 101. It's excellent, which means it's 100 plus. It's non-staining, which means it can be lifted, and it granulates. It's also transparent. So let's take a look at what that looks like. We did really good on this last week. I'm impressed. So that's what it looks like. It's Pigment Red 101. It's excellent, which is 100 plus years. It's non-staining, which means we can lift this one up. It does granulate and is transparent. I'm going to lift it up just so you can kind of see. So, non-staining. Any ideas? Hello, Reba. Hello, Teresa. This is transparent red oxide. Transparent red oxide. This one is Pigment Red 168. Again, it's also excellent. Which means 100 plus years. It's non-granulating. This one was granulating. This one's non-granulating, and it's transparent.
Anthraquinoid scarlet.
What did you say?
Anthraquinoid scarlet.
It is anthraquinoid scarlet. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are good. Reba says perylene red. Yeah, it's kind of like a perylene and a pyrrole. It has that brightness to it. Hello, Kathy Cheney, Washington. Okay, this one, I think this one is going to throw you some. Kind of in that might be the answer as to what it is. This one is Pigment White number 6. So if you remember, we have a couple that are Pigment White number 6. This one is non-staining. It does granulate.
Gray titanium, totally.
Any ideas? Titanium white. Titanium white, Reba, is very close because titanium white is Pigment White number 6. So is buff titanium, Pigment White 6, shade 1. This is gray titanium. So you guys were very close. There you go.
Yeah.
I think Giovanni has guessed it correctly, right, Gio? He said gray titanium.
I just used that color today on a paint out.
Did you? Did you like it?
Oh, I love that color.
Allora, questo è...
Is that your paint out right there, Gabriel? Or is that just your easel?
This is a studio commission piece. The paint out was the Point Loma Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, San Diego. Oh, very pretty. Can you point to the,
There's some in there.
can you point to the gray?
Excuse me?
Can you point to the gray titanium?
It's, I don't know if it's showing up, but it's right in here.
Okay. Very cool. Neat. Thank you. This is PO 48, Pigment Orange number 48. Very, very popular. It's excellent. It's light staining, it's granulating, and it's transparent. The transparency is very, very common within this family of colors. Mark, what do you think?
I was gonna say deep scarlet.
It is actually, this one is going to be the quinacridone burnt orange. The scarlet has the same pretty color to it, though. It's sometimes it's hard to see over the screen, but this is the quinacridone burnt orange. It's a really pretty color.
Reba, our audience from Facebook got it right, John.
Did she? Oh, Reba,
Yeah.
great job. Mark, great job too. Everybody gets an A. Everyone gets an A. This is an interesting color. One of the colors in this family are actually also in the Primatech series. This one's not. This is not a Primatech, but one of the members of this family is. And it's Pigment Violet number 58. It's very good, which means it's 100 years, not 100 plus. It's lightly staining. It does granulate, and it is transparent. I'll also tell you that it is a pigment that is infused into clay. That's almost a giveaway as to what it might be. So what do you think?
Lisa, do you know?
Sorry? Oh,
I think, is it Mayan Violet?
Mayan Violet. Lisa, that's absolutely right. Annika, that's also correct. And Teresa, yep. And Kathy, you're correct too. It's actually Mayan Violet. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Lisa is my lifeline person.
Oh, yes. Okay, this one, you've seen this one many, many, many times. It is PV19, Pigment Violet number 19. It's excellent. It is
Something.
non-granulating and transparent. There's three colors that all share Pigment Violet number 19. One of them is quinacridone violet, the other one's quin rose, and this is the other one. So it's a quinacridone.
Magenta.
Quinacridone red. So Anika, that's correct. Rose is one of the other PV19s. There's quinacridone, there's violet, or I'm sorry, there's purple, there's rose, and they're red, all PV19. This one happens to be the red. So this one's probably on many of your palettes. It's a very So this one is pigment yellow. It's pigment
John, what
yellow.
was, excuse me, what was
Yes.
the previous color called? The red?
This is quinacridone red.
Quinacridone red. Thank you.
Quin red. Yep. So this one's also excellent light fast, which means 100 plus. It's non-staining, which means we can lift it up. And it is granulating and it's transparent.
Yellow hawk.
What did you say?
Yellow hawk.
Yellow gold. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else have some ideas?
How about Verona?
Verona, that's actually very good too. It's French ochre. French ochre. That was a good guess though. French ochre. Teresa says, oh, so Reba says ochre something. Yes, French ochre. That's great. Buff titanium was an answer. So is Verona gold ochre.
What series is that? Gold ochre.
It is, it's on the tube. That writing is small in my eyes and glasses. I'm gonna have somebody with a color chart to say what that is. And then if not, I'll look it up here. So this one was asked about a couple of weeks ago. This is going to be pigment red 233. And it's excellent, 100 plus years, lightly staining. Granulates, and different from these right here, it's going to be opaque. This is an opaque color. There's not many opaque colors. This one is opaque.
I think Potter pinks.
It's Potter's pink. So if you said Potter's pink, if you thought Potter's pink, it's Potter's pink. Okay, so those are the colors so far. Clean out the tray and we'll start again. So while I'm cleaning this out, if you want to know the next two are going to be pigment green, number 17. Excellent light fastness, light staining, it'll granulate, and it is opaque. And the last one on this piece of paper is going to be pigment violet number 49. Excellent, non-staining, granulating, and transparent. So if you want to try to figure those out. Good job. Okay, so this one is pigment green, number 17. And it is excellent. Light staining, granulating, and opaque. I think I misspoke when I talked about the Potter's Pink. The Potter's Pink is semi-transparent. It's not opaque. This is opaque. So Rita says Perylene green, Anika chromium green oxide,
Green appetite.
green apatite,
Green chromium.
this is, so I fit, this is chromium green oxide. So Giovanni, probably whoever thought had that as well, and then I fit had it correctly. Yep. So the next one is Pigment Violet. Pigment Violet 49. It's going to be excellent, non-staining, granulating, and transparent. Can you see that? Okay. Yeah, so I fit, it is one of the cobalts. This is going to be,
Cobalt Violet.
whoever said Cobalt Violet, all right. A+. Cobalt. This is Cobalt Violet. So I fit Gabriel, Stella, Anika. Oh, you guys knocked it out of the park. Yeah, it's Cobalt Violet. Good job. Good eyes. Okay. That over there. I have 5 less for the guessing game, and then we can go to play with sticks. Okay, so this one. This again has a member in the Primatech family. It is itself not a Primatech. It was used by same clay infusion. It's pigment red number 287. 100 years. Lightly staining. Make sure you can see that. Lightly staining, has some granulation, and it's transparent.
Quinn Burt Scarlet.
Nope. So it has one of its members, one of the names of this particular color also is in the Primatech series.
Mayan red.
This is Mayan red. Good job, Elisa. All right, good job. This one's a really kind of this is a family of colors with the same name. one of the high spots of this particular color. It is very granulating. They tend to be very granulating. And one of its namesakes is probably one of the most granulating colors that we have. So it's pigment black number 11 and pigment blue number 15. It's excellent light fastness, slightly staining, and semi-transparent. Carolyn, you are correct. So if you said lunar blue, you're correct. This is lunar blue. Lunar blue. You can see the granulation. Granulates very, very heavily, as do the majority of the lunars. Okay, so this one, many of you probably have this on your palette somewhere or within your watercolors. This is pigment black number 9. Excellent light fastness, lightly staining. It does granulate and it's transparent. It is a black, it's pigment black number 9. The neat thing about this particular black is it's a warm black because it has a very slight yellow undertone to give it its warmth. So as we let that dry, we would see on the outer edges, we'd see kind of a yellowish. So what do you think?
Ivory black.
Ivory black is correct. Yes, it's a warm black, ivory black. IFAT, ivory black, you are correct. So Carolyn on the blue, lunar blue, love that color, especially the pale blue granulating color that floats in the granulation. Yeah, so we can see right here, we can see that it granulates. And as we let this dry, we would actually see more of a yellowish on the outer sides of it. So it's more warm. Okay, the next one is Pigment Violet number 15. Pigment Violet number 15. It is excellent light fast. It's non-staining, so we can lift it up. It is granulating and it's transparent.
Ultramarine violet.
Ultramarine red.
Ultramarine red. Yes, it's ultramarine red. Good job.
They are very similar.
So even to see the ultramarine, that's really good. Yeah, it's ultramarine red. Okay, the last one on the guessing game. This is a class of pigment that is 5 rings. It's a 5-ring structure. It is, make sure I got that right. Make sure I have the right one. Okay. So it's Pigment Violet 19. Actually, this one right here, I'm wrong. So this is a 5-member ring. It's Pigment Orange 48 and Pigment Yellow 150. Okay, it's Pigment Orange 48 and Pigment Yellow 150. What do you think? Aussie red gold, that's a good guess. Carolyn says Quinn burnt sienna. That's a good guess. Kathy, Quinn burnt orange. So this right here was the Quinn burnt orange. This is the same family. This is a Quinn. This is Quinn deep gold. Quinn burnt orange, Quinn deep gold. So this is Quinn deep gold.
Quinn dome gold or Quinn?
It's Quinn deep gold. Quinn deep gold.
Oh, deep.
Yeah. So we have Quinn gold, we have Quinn deep gold, the burnt orange, and the Aussie gold, very bright colors. Okay. So now what I thought we'd do, good on those. You guys did pretty good on those. And that's what they look like. So I'm going to wash it out here in a second. There we go. So now what I thought we'd do is we'd look at some sticks. And I think I brought 15 sticks for us to look at. But I'm going to tell you what they are. You won't have to guess. Circle here and clean it out. So the first one is going to be permanent alizarin crimson. Permanent alizarin crimson. You could also take it off the tube or take it off the stick. I mean, it's really going to be a creative tool. If you want it to be a creative tool, they aren't easy to travel with, but you can take as much or as little as you want. Kind of copy what Giovanni does here. He does these really, super light lines. So you can, depending how steady your hand's way steadier than mine, but depending how steady your hand is, so you can really play with them to any degree you want. This one is going to be, I kind of like this color. This is going to be New Gamboge. New Gamboge. So in this sticks, there's series 1, 2, 3, and 4, but they're all actually at a price point that is lower than a series 1 15 mil in the stick. It's not really why I made them. Just because oil colors have oil bars, and I just think it was something interesting to give to the watercolor artists for those that wanted to put something different in their toolbox. And again, you can take it off the end.
So John, is this a PY 97 or a PY 110?
This is Vivian Boge. It's pigment. It is pigment yellow 97 and pigment yellow 110. So it's both. Did that answer the question?
Yes. Thank you.
Yep. And the way that goes, Gabriel, is when you look at the pigments on your color chart, just like when you buy food, the first one, it means that it has more of the first one than the second one. If there was 3, it has the first one has the most, the second one has the second most, third one has. So that's kind of how we do it.
Thank you for explaining that.
You are very welcome. This one I always find really pretty. I was supposed to be a little bit self-serving for me to say that since I make it. It's just it's kind of a pretty color. Yes? You see that? And then you can watch Giovanni do it. He does really good at this. So this is Cobalt Teal blue.
Beautiful
As
color.
much off as you want to take off to whatever degree you want. And I'm putting it onto wet paper. You can put it onto dry paper if you want it on dry paper. This is a very popular color in the tube. It is quinacridone sienna. And it's been bouncing around with some of the other colors. So there's a little bit of orange on there. And you're kind of in control of how much you want to put down or not put down. And again, if you wanted to, make marks, I think Giovanni make marks, and other artists, make marks, and you can certainly do that. You do it into wet or do it into dry. So it's also can be creative from that standpoint. We're
John,
traveling.
is that quinacridone burnt orange?
This is quinacridone sienna.
Uh,
Quinacridone sienna.
Okay, thanks.
And you can always put it into a travel case. And they come in 5s. And you can either leave them in 5s or you can break them off. And next week, what I'll do is we'll just do all pans. So we'll do 30 or 40 or 50 pans. We'll probably just do all the pans. Okay. This one. is a very popular color. So my sticks, because I just put all these into a baggie. Some of them have. This is Hansa. It should be Hansa White. Yep, Hansa White. And again,
John,
yes.
I think Claudia has a question about sticks. Yeah, she's just typed it.
So Claudia says, I'm using, let's see. I have a question of watercolor sticks. I'm using them over acrylic paint. Can you varnish them after finishing? The pigment gum arabic will be affected. Varnish. I would think that it could affect it, Claudia, but let me find out from the chemists. I know the one thing that doesn't seem to affect them is when you use alcohol because of the evaporation rate, but anything that can anyway wet them out, if the varnish, had a water component to it. But let me find out for sure. And I will tell you offline, and I will tell everybody else next week. That's one thing you have to be careful about watercolors. Watercolors, they can be re-wet, and sometimes wet doesn't mean necessarily with water. So Misha says he loves the cobalt teal blue, but not how the pigment handles it. So is it possible to do alternate to acting like pyrroles? So a pigment will behave as the pigment behaves. That's the beauty about paint. It's truly all about the pigment. But you're in control of how much water you want to use, etc., which also this is French ultramarine. And we talked about French ultramarine before. It's the same as ultramarine, it's just slightly larger particle, PB29, so it moves toward the red or the warm. So this is organic vermilion. Organic vermilion. So this is Hansa. This is Hansa Yellow Deep. Hansa Yellow Deep. So this is light, Hansa Yellow Light, Hansa Yellow Deep. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to do that fourth theta. I'm going to do the phthalos last because they are just so strong. So Misha says this is definitely his favorite. This is permanent green. So let's put that down dry. Permanent green, light. Permanent green, light. So so Claudia asks, why does watercolor painting should not be varnished? Is it just tradition or when they are framed in glass and not varnished? So just remember that when you look at, for example, an oil or an acrylic polymer or an oil, which is linseed, when you put that when you're putting that pigment within a matrix and light has to come down and hit it and move back, it's going to change what that color looks like. That's the whole thing about color. Color is either reflection or refraction. So as an artist, you can pretty much do many things. Is it going to be the same as this right here, which is just the pigment laying up on top of the paper? No, right? You're putting another thing on top of it, and the light has to go through it. So it's a good idea to always test that. You know, test it on another piece of paper or something that's super not meaningful to you to see if you like it. And then that's part of the creative process is to, you know, use things the way you as an artist want to use them. But always, you know, kind of don't do it on something that's super meaningful to you. Do it on something else and see if you like the result. And if you like the result, you can always try it out. Okay, we'll do a couple of phthalos. They're just so intense. This could be phthalo blue, red shade. Phthalo blue, red shade. And the phthalos are just, I mean, they're just intense. They're just so intense. I'm going to just kind of cover everything else up. Okay, and that is the red shade. This one will probably. So this is, let's see the granulation, massive granular. This is lunar black. And this one I was thinking is,
That lunar black stick is my next purchase for sure.
it's pretty cool. This one's actually kind of neat too, Gabriel. This is graphite.
Oh yes, I love that too. I did not know it was a stick. Oh my gosh.
What do you use the graphite for? What kind of?
Well, Giovanni's got them.
Yeah.
Both of those. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You
I
really
like the graphite just because it could just get my eyes just tuned right into what I'm working on. And just values.
Here's one. So this is lamp black. Lunar black, graphite. This is lamp black. And lamp black is going to be the blackest black. Okay. So I do have. Play. So I'm going to kind of mess those up for a second. So I'm going to try something.
Now you're talking, John.
It is blue sugar.
Blue sugar. It's powdered iridescent electric blue. So it's powdered iridescent electric blue.
Very nice.
So it's a powder, it's a electric blue in a powdered form. All right, that's 20. 30. That's, I think we went through 35. So good job on guessing. That's actually kind of mixing kind of interesting. Those phthalos are just off the chart. Kind of cool. All right, so those are the cards I wanted to show you today. If you have questions, by of course, leave me your questions. Look at pans tomorrow. There won't be a guest tomorrow because I won't be here tomorrow. But next week we'll have an in studio artist on Friday. And my idea next Thursday is to go over pans. So if you have questions about the pans or there's pans you wanted to see, let me know and I'll make sure I pull those out. If there's something else you wanted to see, let me know that as well. And I can go ahead and get that ready for next week. So with that, I wanted to say thank you for joining me today, Thursday. I won't be here tomorrow. It was great seeing you all. Elise, it's great seeing you on this side. I can actually see you. Normally I read about you on the other side. Carolyn, Agnes, MyFat, it's good to have you all. Mark, Giovanni, Gabriel, thank you all for joining me. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everyone.